is surviving the storm. A WPBF 25 First Alert Weather Special.
Good evening, I'm Mike Lyons.
And I'm Chris Martinez. In the next 30 minutes, our weather team is going to give you the information you need to prepare your family and your home before, during, and after a storm.
Now, last year's hurricane season was very quiet. Just one storm made landfall. That was Hurricane Arthur, which hit the Outer Banks of North Carolina in early July.
Thankfully, damage was very minor. Now, this year, even though Tropical Storm Ana formed in May, experts are predicting another quiet season.
Now, here's what we're expecting for 2015, and we're using the forecast from Colorado State University. They are predicting 7 named storms compared to the long-term average of 12. 3 hurricanes, that's below the norm of 6, and just 1 major storm.
So why are we expecting a quieter hurricane season this year? Well, the answer is El Nino. I'm sure you've heard about it. Basically, it's the warming of the Pacific waters, and in turn, it creates a lot of upper-level wind shear, and that tends to tear a storm apart. On top of that, we're also watching the Atlantic Basin and the temperature of the water out here, because if we're seeing cooler than normal water temperatures, we take away the fuel for fire to have those storms develop. And Mike, those waters really need to be watched closely as we go through this year.
In particular, the Gulf of Mexico, which is running a little bit above average so far. And remember, the last hurricane to strike Florida was Wilma, which originated in the Gulf of Mexico. And as meteorologist Sandra Shaw tells us, there's a reason for that.
Hurricane season is 6 very long months beginning June 1st and lasting until the end of November. After years of record keeping, we know that storms tend to form in certain areas depending upon the time of the year. So here is a look at where we typically see storm activity during each month of the hurricane season. Let's start with June. Tropical activity in June typically happens much closer to home. As you can see there, a storm is most likely to form in the Gulf of Mexico or just off the Florida coast. Advancing to July, the waters begin warming and development widens to include the entire eastern Caribbean. Come August, storms can form in the Caribbean, they can form in the Gulf of Mexico, and also in the western Atlantic. September, that's a biggie. It's usually the busiest month of the season with storms developing really, truly about anywhere. By October, though, we're watching the waters close to home once again. And then finally, when November rolls around, storm activity is pretty much confined to just a small area east of Florida. And it doesn't happen often, but it is possible to see a strong storm form in November, even though the waters are beginning to cool off by then.
Thanks, Sandra. Now, one of the main tools used to study storms is the Hurricane Hunter plane. And we got a chance to take a tour of it in Orlando at this year's Hurricane Conference. Now, this plane features state-of-the-art weather equipment, and every time a tropical system develops, these pilots fly right into the heart of the storm to bring us the most accurate measurements. Now, that data is valuable to us because it helps provide the forecasted track of the storm.
And Chris, how about this? For the first time ever, President Obama visited the National Hurricane Center in Miami last week. He was briefed by FEMA on expectations for this hurricane season. Mr. Obama's trip comes after addressing climate change as he continues to build support for a global agreement to reduce greenhouse gas emissions later on this year. Also at the National Hurricane Center, technology getting bigger and better in Miami. A just installed new satellite is allowing forecasters to get critical information that they've never been able to capture before. All right, question for you. What's the greatest danger from a hurricane? Well, it's water, freshwater flooding, and especially storm surge. Storm surge is a wall of water, sometimes reaching 10 to 15 feet high, moving onshore as a hurricane makes landfall. That's why residents along the immediate coastline are asked to evacuate. Now, let me show you some examples of storm surge from Hurricane Ike, a Category 2 storm that hit southeastern Texas back in 2008. Ike produced a storm surge of 15 to 20 feet. On the left, before the storm. On the right, after the storm. You can see just how much damage that storm surge produced. Now, the only Category 5 indoor hurricane simulator in the world just began operating right here in South Florida.
And this is pretty cool. It's at the University of Miami. Meteorologist Sandra Shaw shows us all how it works.
This is what a Category 5 hurricane looks like inside a lab, a $15 million tank at the University of Miami called SUSTAIN, short for Surge Structure Atmosphere Interaction. The Category 5 150-mile-an-hour winds are generated through that huge electric fan, and what the scientists here at UM are trying to do is to find out that unique relationship and interaction between the storm itself and ocean waters.
The hurricane gets its heat
to power the storm from the ocean surface.
Scientists analyze data that's transferred remotely via special cameras and lasers situated around the acrylic walls of the 3D wave and wind machine. One of the key focuses of the research, storm surge.
You have elevated water level, you have extreme waves and wind hitting these structures.
Plus, these researchers just made a major discovery that is being used in hurricane intensity forecast this hurricane season.
Essentially, there's a point as a hurricane gets bigger and bigger that the ocean gets smoother to the hurricane, so it can spin up even faster.
This contained tempest, a man-made hurricane, holds secrets ready to surge forth, much like the waves it energizes.
This is revolutionary, epic.
Yes.
Such a cool story. Now, another big concern with tropical systems are, of course, tornadoes. Now, with any kind of tropical system, there's always some natural rotation or the twisting of the winds at different levels of the atmosphere. And this rotation forms quick-moving tornadoes and funnel clouds that you usually see on the outer fringe of these fast-moving storms as they make landfall as well. And they, in fact, can create EF0 to EF1 type damage in a matter of seconds.
All right, Chris, the WPBF 25 News Hurricane Tracker app is one-stop shopping for everything you need to know before, during, and after a hurricane.
Mike, at the bottom of this homepage, there's tabs. Now, this row provides various weather and satellite imagery of storms and hurricanes and allows you to track their paths.
At the very bottom is a prepare section. It links you to important phone numbers, checklists, senior resources, and pet and animal safety information.
And finally, the social tab will provide you up-to-the-second information, people talking about power outages, school closures, what stores are open, what stores are closed, and areas that have been impacted by the storm.
Also, get ready to print out our storm survival guide right now.
It has important phone numbers, evacuation maps, flood zones, and shelters. Just visit the hurricane section on WPBF.com.
All right, coming up next, I take you room by room to show you the safest place to be during a storm. Plus, the power of drones, the way FPL will be taking to the skies. And test yourself, the interactive game app that could keep your house standing. From 1992 with Hurricane Andrew to just over 10 years ago, Francis, Jean, and Wilma, we've been through a lot of big storms together. If we get one this year, you and I will be ready once again.
During Hurricane Katrina in the Gulf Coast, I was out in the field reporting, and it was during Katrina that I actually made the decision to become a meteorologist full-time. Witnessing the sheer power to upend lives that the storm possessed, it really just resonated with me. And I think I bring that unique passion and experience to the WPBF 25 First Alert Weather Team.
All right, Sandra, thank you. You know, it was 11 years ago that Florida was hit by 4 hurricanes in 6 weeks. The 2004 hurricane season, it was one for the record books. First, there was Charley, a Category 4 storm that hit Florida's west coast on August the 13th, Friday the 13th. A few weeks later, Hurricane Francis, a slow-moving Category 2 storm, made landfall near Sewell's Point. 11 days later, Hurricane Ivan, a powerful storm that smashed into the Panhandle. And on September 25th, Hurricane Jean struck just 2 miles from where Francis had hit just 3 weeks earlier. Jean became the deadliest storm of the 2004 season, claiming more than 3,000 lives in Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Florida. So it's easy to see why hurricanes are the most awesome, violent storms on Earth.
Right, and they're also called typhoons or cyclones, just depending on where they're happening.
But as meteorologist Taylor Grenda explains, one thing is for sure. They can form very quickly and last for days.
Only tropical cyclones that form over the Atlantic Ocean and also the eastern Pacific are called hurricanes. And whatever they are called, tropical cyclones all form the same way. They're like giant engines that use warm, moist air as fuel. That is why tropical cyclones only form over warm waters near the equator with water temperatures of 80 degrees or above. So pretty much here's what happens. Unstable air moves up and away from the surface, leaving less air near the surface. This leads to convection, also known as vertical motion, and clouds will actually start to form. Another way of pretty much saying the same thing is that warm air rises, causing an area of low pressure to form below.
Now, one of the biggest lessons from the 2004 hurricane season was to be prepared early. Now it's the time to stock up on the supplies. You see the list of the supplies scrolling right across the bottom of your screen, like bottled water, canned goods, and medication. Of course, you can also find the list on our free WPBF Hurricane app and in our printable Hurricane Guide.
Now, you might have heard me talk about safe rooms during past hurricane coverage. A safe room has the potential to save your life, and now is the time to choose the best room in your home to shelter from the storm. All right, this is by far the best place to be if a hurricane is making landfall. You want to be inside your house. Now, that's assuming you're not in an evacuation zone or a mobile home. But let's assume this is your home. But where do you go when the hurricane is actually making landfall? There's some key places you want to be inside the house. Let's go inside and find out. Okay, inside the house. Lots of great places to seek shelter. Of course, the best, and unfortunately we don't live in the Midwest, is a basement. So here in South Florida, the idea is to put as many walls between you and those high winds. The problem? Windows. You want to stay away from windows. Now, here's an interior room. Come on in. This is a bathroom. And ordinarily, bathrooms are great places to be your safe room. Unfortunately, this one's got a window. So let's look for something else. Now, here's a much better choice right off the master bedroom. It's the master closet. This is a great choice for the safe room. Look how large it is. And that's important because it could be you and your family for an extended period of time, maybe several hours riding out the storm. This offers lots of protection, and it's important that you be comfortable because, again, you could be here for a while. So bring in your blankets, bring in your snacks, and ride out the storm right here in your safe room. So that's it. And as you can see, it's pretty simple. The basic ingredients: you want to be at the lowest level of your house, away from windows, a bathroom or a closet that offers the best protection. And again, make yourself comfortable because you could be there several hours. There's your house. It's your castle, and it'll protect you during the storm.
Thanks, Mike. Now, some of you don't have a choice to ride out a storm in your house. You're looking at the WPBF 25 First Alert traffic map, which will help thousands of you evacuate.
If you live east of US 1 on a barrier island or in a mobile home, you are in an evacuation zone. If you're not sure, go to WPBF.com and check out our hurricane guide. If you live in Palm Beach County, go to the emergency management website, scroll down to the evacuation tool, then type in your address. From there, you will find out if you need to evacuate. Also listed the nearest shelters, gas stations, grocery stores, and where you can get building supplies.
So let's say an evacuation has been ordered. One of the issues you'll face: wall-to-wall traffic, but we can help you stay ahead of those backups with our WPBF 25 First Alert traffic map system. Chris just talked about it a moment ago. Meteorologist Taylor Grenda, she's back, and she's got a preview.
If a hurricane is threatening, one of the biggest and most important challenges is, of course, evacuating and how to get out the quickest and the safest way. Well, we've got you covered with our state-of-the-art WPBF 25 First Alert traffic system that has specific, detailed evacuation maps all the way from the Treasure Coast down and through southern Palm Beach County. One of the most exciting features, of course, with this system is that it's actually integrated with the WPBF 25 First Alert radar system so that we can show you, for instance, where and when the heaviest rainfall is moving in, giving you anything from wide views of the major highways like I-95 to even local street views. Plus, in the midst of a hurricane and an evacuation situation, we've got detailed features like road closures due to, for instance, a downed power line, or even latest up-to-the-minute accident reports and also local drive times, so that we can get you out and on your way as quickly and as safe as possible. Now, as hurricane season starts, it's always important to plan ahead. That is why you can find the latest evacuation maps on our website at WPBF.com.
One of the best ways to prepare is to have a family plan.
And Chris, as meteorologist Vanessa Vanette shows you, now is the time to decide where you will go if you're evacuated.
If you need to evacuate, don't go far. The idea is to stay in county but out of the danger zone. Try to stay with a friend, relative, or a hotel. If you have no place to go, a shelter is your last resort. Make sure you bring supplies, medicine, bedding, clothing, bottled water, extra car keys. Bring important documents like Social Security card, proof of residence, insurance policies, wills, deeds, birth and marriage certificates.
All right, now that you have a family plan, let's get your house ready.
Yeah, meteorologist Sandra Shaw shows us the 5 things you should do immediately to protect your home when a watch or warning is issued.
First thing you want to do is put up your aluminum shutters, and if you don't have these, put up plywood over your windows. The thing not to do, it's a waste of time, putting tape over your windows, it's a myth that that will protect anything. The second tip is to bring in all your outdoor furniture, anything outside, anything like decorations like this or even potted plants, because believe it or not, this kind of thing can become a flying missile, a projectile during high winds. The other thing, a lot of people will just throw them in the pool. That doesn't work. It's not going to protect them. They'll still fly around. And speaking of pools, that's step 3. Lower the water level in your pool a little bit. Don't completely drain it, but just lower it enough that if it does rain immensely, at least it won't flood as bad. One other thing, you want to make sure that there are no debris piles hanging around like this, because something as simple as this branch could become a missile in the midst of a storm. Finally, the most vulnerable part of your house during a storm is your garage. Most new homes like this one have the reinforcing braces. If your home doesn't have those on your garage door, you can always purchase a kit at just about any home improvement store.
The WPBF 25 First Alert Weather Center is growing.
This is what you're used to seeing from us on TV.
That's right. It really looks like this, though. It's all green.
The weather graphics are superimposed on top for you at home.
And Mike, new this year, a full-body green screen giving you the weather and a different dimension of storytelling.
Okay, Chris, and here's an interactive way to test yourself, an app called Last House Standing. Now, the game gives the player 5 minutes and 100 grand to build a house that strikes the perfect balance between stylish and indestructible. The home you create will get hit by a simulated hurricane, and you can see how it weathers the storm.
Now, Florida Power and Light already had their crews go through hurricane drills. They now have the ability to document storm damage from the field in real time using iPads as opposed to handwritten notes. Now, FPL is also in the process of putting drones into the field to survey damage from above.
So the potential is we could send these out right away after we hit that all clear point and start actually gathering that damage very quickly.
And we'll keep you updated and posted when those drones are ready to fly. Studying hurricanes is my passion. In fact, I've chased a couple of them, most recently Hurricane Isaac. Now, those experiences really come in handy when it comes to helping out the WPBF 25 First Alert Weather Team and delivering the most accurate forecasts this hurricane season.
In 2012, Hurricane Sandy hit my hometown. Living through this experience really taught me how powerful Mother Nature can be. And with this knowledge, the WPBF 25 First Alert Weather Team and I will keep you ahead of the storm this hurricane season.
Now, we can't forget about our 4-legged family members, right? Hurricanes are just as stressful on them as they are for us.
Absolutely. Meteorologist Vanessa Vanette shows you how to prepare your pets for a storm.
This is Tegan. Just like any other member of your family, it's very important to keep your family safe and pets as well. Here are 4 important things that you need to know about. First things first, all dogs should have a good collar that includes an ID tag in case they get lost during the storm. Second, if you do need to evacuate, make sure you have all the essential tools that you need. First things first, a pet crate, plenty of food and water, and a few of their favorite toys to provide them comfort. Third, make plans in advance for your pets. Red Cross shelters do not accept animals, so it's a good idea to research online and find a shelter that does accept animals, or even find a hotel outside your area where you can take your pets. And last but not least, remember to always have your pet's health information with you. Our pets are part of our family, and you want to keep everyone safe. Vanessa Vanette, WPBF 25 News. I'm a South Florida native. I lived through Hurricane Andrew and Wilma. In fact, the eye of Wilma passed right over my house, and that fascinated me to become a meteorologist and to study hurricanes.
Thank you, Vanessa. Now, not only are we committed to covering the storm on air and online, we'll also be streaming our coverage on our radio partners, 97.9 WRMF, The Coast, 101.3, 95.9 The Palm, 93.5 The Bar, and 900 AM The Talk. We're committed to preparing you before, during, and after a storm. When a watch is issued for the area, we'll be the first on air and online to bring you the latest information.
And when that watch becomes a warning, we'll have live continuous coverage keeping your family safe until the threat is over.
So this year, stay safe, be prepared. Thanks for watching, and good night.